Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to this channel. It's Steve Gacchino de Idiomas, where we talk about languages from very small things to very general and big things. Alright, that's my favorite word. Today we're going to talk about, how to speak Spanish like a native. Crash course. Alright, we've talked about this in a previous video. There are certain things that can help you, which are vowel sounds, consonant sounds, melody, and imitation and all that, but we're gonna take these three as fundamentals. Okay, so let me show you this. I'm going to add things. I'm going to speak in Spanish. First, I'm going to do it like very exaggerated with a total American accent, okay? You probably heard this guy before, if you've seen an American speaking Spanish. Hola, yo voy a... Okay, again. Hola, yo voy a hablar en español. Y yo voy a hablar con los consonantes y con los vocales que yo tengo de inglés. Y yo voy a tal vez sonar incomprensible para otras personas por mi acento. You've heard that guy before? Probably, yeah. Okay. Now, let's add a melody to that. Okay, it's still ridiculously American. Let's add melody to that. Ok, primero voy a decir una cosita en español para acostumbrarme a mi propia melodía. And then I'm going to... entonces voy a hablar todavía como americano, pero todavía voy a hablarte como mexicano. O sea, yo ahora ya tengo la melodía de los mexicanos, aunque yo siga hablando como americano totalmente. Yo todavía ya tengo la melodía de mexicanos, la neta del planeta. You've heard that guy before, haven't you? Oh yeah, if you're a Spanish speaker, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now let's add correct vowel sounds, the ones that native speakers use. And maybe this will make this guy a bit more understandable. Entonces yo voy a hablar en español, pero tú ya vas a notar una diferencia, porque aunque yo no tengo las consonantes correctas del español, yo ya tengo las vocales correctas. Entonces yo ya es mucho más fácil que tú entiendas mí. Alright? Now let's add a little bit more to that, and add the consonants. But I'm not gonna add tongue's resting place, okay? So I'm going to go with so that my tongue's resting place is as much as I can get it to an American one. Entonces yo voy a hablar en español con mi tongue resting place, con las consonantes correctas, pero todavía como que se me lengua la traba, como que a veces se me traba la lengua al hablar español y pues todavía no sé bien cómo hacerle. Sí, este simplemente soy yo hablando todos los días así, pero todavía me cuesta un poquito de trabajo, de hecho, como que sí, al tener mi lengua en la posición de descanso de inglés americano. So I'm going to add that final little bit, that building block. And actually I want you to see this because it changes the way I speak my English as well. So I'm going to go by the way, if you don't understand what I'm doing and go watch my video about 3 things that can help you sound like a native on basically any language. Okay? So, and I'm going to start to speak in English, and you're going to notice a little bit of a difference. Now let's go back to and I start to speak in English, and you can hopefully notice the difference. And it is easier for me to speak English like this. Okay, now let's go into Spanish. Let's add that final block. Entonces yo voy a hablar en español perfecto. Tengo la melodía, tengo las consonantes, tengo las vocales perfectas. Obviamente puede ser mucho. No tienes que ser perfecto con tu acento. No se dice acento, se dice acento. Perdón. You don't have to be perfect. Of course, you can sometimes have a little bit of your own original melody, a mix of both. A consonant sound can come back. Entonces puedo estar hablando en español y de repente yo hablo así y de repente digo yo en vez de yo. Okay? Alright. So let's go through the alphabet as well. Okay, now if we got a melody, by the way, let me show you the melody yet again, but in English. Voy a decir una cosita primero en español, para ver la melodía, and then I'm going to start to speak in English, and you can notice that even though my pronunciation may still be kind of flawless, well, it's not flawless, I know it's not 100% perfect, but you can still notice that the change of melody, and this is how many Mexican sounds you've heard this guy before, haven't you? Actually, I have those super in my mind, melody and pronunciation, so I started to sound more Mexican, but you noticed the melody, right? Didn't you? Alright, great. So, let's go through the alphabet. Let's go with vowels. Okay, so we have like 23 vowel sounds total in Spanish. Because you see, Spanish was, it's not really a Romance language, it was created from French. It was created from Dutch and... Oh, wait, no, this is the English paper. No, sorry. I have the Spanish paper right here. Yeah. So, Spanish has 5 vowel sounds. Yeah, you heard that. 1 for each vowel. So, you're speaking in Spanish, and okay, this is going to be kind of hard, but I'm going to try it to have the correct consonants, but the wrong vowel sounds. Okay. Okay, I'm going to speak Spanish like that. Entonces voy a hablar así, con las consonantes correctas, pero con los sonidos de vocales incorrectos. Actually, that made it harder for me to pronounce my double R. Maybe that's, that could help you out with your double R a little bit. Okay, so I'll go with those first. A, I, O, U, which in Spanish are A, E, I, O. I don't even know those in my own language. Okay, so A, E, I, O, U. You can play this part of the video as many times as you want and try to imitate that, because if you get this right, you're gonna improve a whole lot. You saw the difference, okay? You heard it, didn't you? When I show you the one with the correct vowels, even though they had incorrect consonants, you could still hear that it was different, right? And if you speak Spanish, you know that it was a lot more comprehensible. Okay, A, E, I, O, U, and these never change. Okay, fine. There can be variations from one region to another, or if you're a linguist, is that what it's called in English? Linguista, and you study how we pronounce. No, actually, when you pronounce an at the beginning of a word, it's not the same as an at the end of a word, whatever. It's always the same. A, E, I, O, U. Okay, now let's go through the entire alphabet. Let's do this quickly. Okay, so we have A, plain and simple. We have B, okay, barco, ba, baby, bo, boo, b. Very simple. Now, side note here, because this is one of the things I notice the most. When I'm speaking in English, you may notice that I don't always pronounce my V's, and this is because in Spanish there is no such thing. Both B and V have the same pronunciation. Okay, so you don't need to change this. I know this is an epiphany for many of you. Many of you didn't know this, and when it comes to consonants, they are subtle, so we don't know those things unless we were told most of the time. Don't worry. Yes, B and V are the same in Spanish. B, the same. Okay, C. Okay, so C before A, O, or U makes the same sound as a K, which we'll look at. Kakekikoku. Now, well, in this case, just kakoku. Before an E or an I, it makes an S sound, S. But if you're in Spain, before an E or an I, it makes a th sound, which is kind of like th in English, tho. Th. Thi. You see that? You hear that? Which is actually the sound that the Z makes in Spain. Okay, move on. D. Okay, D is not D, it's not D. You can see actually my tongue between my teeth if I say it in Spanish. De. Which, so the front edge sort of my tongue is kind of in my palate a little bit before my teeth. In English, z, z is actually between my teeth in Spanish. The. Again, there are many videos that explain these things more in depth and how to do them properly and all that. So, we already saw that. E is so just plain and simple. F, fa, fe, fi, fu, fu. F, G. Okay, so G for an A, an O, or a U is G. And this is a unique sound, G. Ga, go, gu, like as in gato. But it can also make the sound of a J if it's before an E or an I. Anyways, G, G. G, G. Alright? F, G, H. Okay, sorry, I need to go through the alphabet. I know it, but you know how it works, guys. H is always mute except when it has a C or an S before it. If it has a Z before it, is ch. I think it's the same. I don't think it changes with English. So, like in cheese, chico, cha, chi, chicho, chu, ch. And with an S, it becomes sh, sha, sh, shi, shu, shu. All right. I, it's E, which is just E. E. Okay. J is H, and this is one many of you struggle with because you say H, like it's an H in English, H, but it's not, and you're basically creating this tonal affair, and you're exhaling, you're huffing, H, but it's not quite just a huff, it's H, and it's not a tunnel. I'm cutting it a little bit with my tongue, but I'm not gonna go into depth with that. I just wanted to show you how it sounds. H, ha, he, he, ho, hu. And if you're in Spain, it can be usually stronger. So ja, jo, petio, jo, macho, ja. Una jirafa. Maybe I'm exaggerating it a little bit, but it is somewhat stronger in Spain, usually. Alright. J, K. Okay, K, K, ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. You see how I'm linking it to the vowels, and it's only 5 of those, so it's really easy. Ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. Only 5 vowels. J, K, L. L. J, K. No, actually, L. So L is actually different as well. L. Lollipop. If I try to say this with my Mexican accent, I would say lollipop. Lollipop. Because it's L. It's not L. La. It's L. L. Okay? La, le, li, lo, lu. M. Okay. I'm not sure if there's a difference with this one. In general, they tend to be consonants more, like, stronger, more pronounced, so to speak. And, yeah. Anyways. M. Ma. Ma, me, mi, mo, mo. N. N. Na, ne, ni, no, no. Enye. You don't have this in English, and surprisingly, this doesn't. Like the Americans I've seen speaking Spanish, it's not a problem for most of them. For what I've seen, but I don't know. I would assume it's kind of a problem if you don't have this in your original language. But anyways, nya, 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 nya. Very simple. O, again, O. This is O. Okay, P. We have. I feel like it is actually somewhat softer in English. P. Kind of like more shooting air. P. But in Spanish, I feel like it's more pronunciada. P. Papá. Pergamino. P. Pa. Pa. It's kind of stronger, more marked, more pronounced. Anyway, Q. Q is the same as a K, except Q has to always be written before U, I, or UE. And in that case, U becomes mute. So it is pronounced like que or ki. Alright? Que, ki. Q, R. Okay. You've been all waiting for this one, haven't you? Okay, so initially it's very similar, but they also have like the middle R. R, torta. But we're not talking Italian. And American English is and in British English, I think it is like r, r, r. And in Spanish, there's none of those. It's r, r. So my tongue's kind of like this, and it does this r, r, r. So it starts like r, r, like at half my palate, sort of. Maybe 1/3 or half my palate, the tip of my tongue starts there, and it does this r, r, r. It's like I'm exhaling air like this, sort of. Or maybe it's about, I don't even know. But okay. As for the double R, it's similar. But what is happening is that my tongue is vibrating, and it's the tip of my tongue. Actually, I notice right now is more like a quarter of my palate starts there. So. And now it's kind of moving like a little bit in my upper teeth, and behind my upper teeth or my palate, because it's vibrating at the start of my palate and the end of my teeth. And there's actually a air that comes out because my tongue is sort of like this. Of course, it has more curves. But on the sides, on the right side and the left side, there's kind of still a tunnel where air can come out. There wasn't such a tunnel, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. But because of that, a tunnel of air. But anyway, that's how it sounds. Rápido, ruedan las ruedas del ferrocarril. R con R cigarro, R con R barril. Voila. And yeah, tell me if you want to have a video on R. I'll try to explain it as I can. Tell me in the comments. Okay, let's move forward fast. So S, I think it's pretty much the same. If you say the same, you'll be good to go. No particular problems with that one. S, T. Okay, T. I don't know if I said this about D. I didn't. But T in English, you have like the front edge of your tongue, your palate a little bit before your teeth. T, ta, ti, to, tu. But if I'm in Spanish, it's actually t. Yeah, I think I did say it. You can see my tongue, the front edge of my tongue between my teeth. T, ta. It's actually not t. It's te. It's a lot more pronounced, close, not so airy. So ta, te, ti, to, tu. All right. V. Again, it's the same as B. B. V. B. Velasco, barco, velero. Todo es lo mismo. Everything is the same. The. Ba, baby, bo, W is actually, this one actually also changes, but it's almost never used in Spanish except for words that come from English or with specific names like Wenceslao, which almost nobody knows. Wenceslao, what? So if you say what were, if I do it with my Mexican accent, that would be what, where, what, gu. It's almost like gu, almost like gu. Okay, so w or gua, we, wu. Okay. X, I think X is the same. Taxi. I don't see any difference, honestly. Unless there is. If there is, and you know this, please tell it in the comments. Why? This is one actually, there is a particular problem with this one. So in English, you have two similar sounds. One is y, as in yes, or yellow, or whatever, y. And this is what you take. You take this first one, which is a further one from the real one in Spanish. So, yo me llamo Esteban. Necesito apoyo, porque no sé pronunciar la y, la y. And you also have this from jam, jelly, jealous. So use that one. You'll be a lot closer, very good to go. Okay, so jealous. It's not exactly the same, but it's almost exactly the same. But this is how it actually sounds. J, ja, ja, j, g, jo, ju, j. Okay? And finally, we have z, z. Same thing as with b. There is no vibration. Okay? There is no z in Spanish. This is why we struggle with this when we're speaking in English. Okay? Now, again, in Spain, it is th, like the th sound in English, like as in tho. Th, zapato, zaherir, una zancadilla, zazecizozu. Zazecizozu. Elsewhere, anywhere else, it's like an S. Zazecizozu, zapato, zancadilla, zaherir, whatever. Alright, and with that, we go through the entire alphabet. Now you're a lot more equipped. Now, if you want to look up each letter for a specific YouTube video, how to pronounce R in Spanish, you can do that, and you will become a lot better. But now you have the basis, okay? You know everything, you know how it sounds, and what else? Yeah, I wanted to point out those few things. People that have been learning Spanish for years, they still pronounce the Y as if it was in years. It's not y, it's not yo, it's yo, yo. It's not jirafa, it's jirafa. Those are subtle ones. Everyone thinks about the R, but they don't stop to think about the other ones. Okay, so also there are subtle ones that really don't matter all that much, like T. I don't know if you say el tiempo, that's not so important. El tiempo. But there are ones that can help you more than others, and don't modify the vowel sounds if you want to be if you want to be more easily understood. If you want to sound more like a native. It's not that people are not going to understand you. They're going to understand you 90% of the time at least. But there are times where having a little bit more better pronunciation can help you out. Don't change the vowels, okay? I hear this all the time. E being changed by as in kid, or history, or girl, which can also be pronounced as girl. So you guys, you changed your language all around. And we don't do that, okay? Our vowels are constant. They're always the same. This doesn't mean that sometimes you won't accidentally go back to your original vowel sounds. There are only 5. This is literally the easiest Romance language you could have picked in terms of vowel sounds. Only 5, okay? 1 for each vowel. They never change. Never. But foreigners should still change them. Okay, whatever. So, I don't want to hear lo voy a hacer yo mismo. Se nota que hablas bien español. Yo mismo. No, I want to hear lo voy a hacer yo mismo. Se nota que hablas muy bien español. Okay, yeah, I'm a native, whatever. But you get the idea. The idea. But you get the idea if I start to speak like I'm from Spain. And I don't know, tell me, actually don't tell me, I think I'll write it down. I'll make hopefully some more videos. One of them I want to make is like imitating different accents with different languages with different accents, so that we can have a lot of fun with that. Okay, so this was the Spanish crash course with examples, or not examples, with the sounds of the entire alphabet and the most common problems or subtle changes with consonants that everyone notices. Okay? With this, you should be good to go to speaking better Spanish, and at least you know what you got to do now. Alright, everyone. See you next time. This was Teacher Steve, and it was a pleasure to see you here, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye.